Wicked for Good is officially out, and if you're wondering what that is, it's a sequel to 2024's Wicked, which in itself is based off a 2003 play, which in and of itself is based off a 1995 novel, which in and of itself is based on a 1939 film, which in and of itself is an adaptation of the 1900 novel The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And if that's a little too much, let me make matters simpler. Wicked Part 2 picks up shortly after 2024's Wicked. Elphaba has now been outcast and blamed for the silencing of all animals in Oz, which we know in reality is evil Jeff Goldblum's fault. Meanwhile, social climber Glinda has successfully climbed to the top of the social pyramid and lives high in a place in Emerald City. But if they're gonna save Oz and defeat evil Jeff Goldblum's wizard, the two must team up, which they do, resulting in a fancy musical comedy of epic proportions. You will hear some critics tell you that Wicked Part 2 is a disappointment. You will hear some critics say that this is far inferior to the original film. But if the story of Wicked teaches us anything, it's that people in positions of power can lie. And ladies and gentlemen, all those critics are indeed spinning a tale of deception. Because Wicked for Good is not only as good as the original, in some ways it even surpasses it. I was a fan of the first Wicked film, but it was very much a tale of two movies. The first half is this hangout movie with Glinda and Elphaba getting to know each other, and then the second half, when they leave and actually confront the wizard, became an entirely different movie. And while I still did enjoy the film, it left us with a little bit of an identity crisis. But Wicked for Good is a far more consistent film, bridging both the narrative and high stakes of the second half of the first movie with the drama and romance of the first half. But whether they're confronting a nefarious wizard or bickering over Prince Fiero, Glinda and Elphaba are an absolute joy to watch, underscoring exactly why this movie works so well, because it gets the most essential element of these movies right, that core dynamic between those two characters. Like most friendships, it's one with ups and downs, but this movie explodes all of that friendship drama onto a melodramatic scale. Melodrama is something that filmmakers tend to shy away from. We glorify stories which deal with emotion in incredibly subtle ways, but those extreme emotions are Wicked for Good's superpower. Because of director John Chu's willingness to lean into the melodramatic nature of the material and put these melodramatic large-scale feelings onto the big screen, we ourselves end up indulging in them. If the first Wicked proved anything, it's that director John M. Chu found absolute dynamite in Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, especially the former. She's always had this character down to a T since the first frame, though it's hard to say she improves on the role, but she's every bit as good as she was in that first film, delivering on the laughs and most importantly, the heart. I tend to gravitate to characters with stronger personality, so I struggled to connect with the stoic Elphaba in the first movie, but Cynthia Erivo truly comes into her own here, delivering a performance that is genuinely multi-layered, revealing layers and facets of this character we didn't even know existed. I know the term "they don't make them like they used to" has become quite overused, but I genuinely feel it applies to a movie like Wicked for Good. Cynicism, irony, and sarcasm have become commonplace in cinema. Marvel movies constantly undercut their own dramatic tension and emotions with one-liners that you forget about within the next 5 seconds. But Wicked for Good is absolutely exceptional in its sincerity. It invites us into this colorful, immaculately produced, designed, and costumed world where you genuinely feel the love for the characters spill out of the screen in every frame. It is colorful, it is brash, and unlike those Marvel movies, genuinely wears its heart Honestly, when characters break out into song, you're not just enjoying a good musical number, you're being swept into this emotional canvas that John M. Chu has portrayed on the screen, and it's one that is hard to resist. And for that, I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for weekly TV and movie reviews. And if you've had the chance to watch Wicked for good, let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. I am Cinemike, and I'll see you next time.